good? Hey guys.
Hey guys, this is the raw,
The behind the scenes.
the before the podcast,
Before the shot and chop. Pre-shot and chop?
pre-shot and chop. So it's just shot,
Just shot.
no chop,
No chop.
no cap, no chop,
No chop.
no top. All right, and we're live. And make sure I silence my phone. Welcome back to another episode of Shot and Chop. I am your host, Josh Cannon, and today we are going to chop it up. So everybody, today, all of my business owners, anybody that is an entrepreneur, you already know what today is. Well, everybody in general, you know what today is. It is tax preparation day. So today I wanted to dedicate this episode to helping people be better equipped to handling their taxes and answer some questions with an actual tax professional that I have here today to help not make things so scary, because me, myself included, I struggle with the details and all of the hidden loopholes and stuff like that with taxes. So hopefully today you all can get some good information from this episode. Make sure you have something to write with, write down all of the information that's going to be included. So without further ado, I would love to introduce my guest today, Miss Alyssa with Fearlyss Tax Expert and Business Strategist. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. Yes, today is April 18th. If you guys don't know, if you're watching this a year from now, later, it might be the 15th. It's normally the 15th, but you know, COVID. So
we got 3 extra days this year. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay. Well, I didn't know. I actually didn't know about tax day until like a couple of days ago. Like I knew it was a tax day, but I didn't know the exact tax day because my last tax professional, she was like, you know, the one doing everything, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes people just think, I don't know what people think about taxes, and a lot of people are afraid of taxes, but you have to think about it as it's just literally the government trying to be like, you made money and you owe me a little bit, so go ahead and break me off.
Gotcha. So let's break it down even further than that. At the bare minimum, what are taxes and how do you need to navigate them as a business owner or just navigate them with your personal taxes?
Okay, so taxes is what the government uses to pay our public works. So things such as the streets, firefighters, your teachers, anything that you use essentially for free from federally or the state, taxes pays for that. So you either pay sales tax, you pay regular taxes like that are actually coming out of your income. Income taxes is what we're filing. So we made a certain amount of income, and based off that income, you're supposed to either be filing that you worked a W-2 job. So normal people, they get a W-2 form to file. If you have your own business, you're either filing 1099 or a Schedule C or even a Schedule F. That's farming, but we're in Virginia, so we can bring it up too. So yeah, you're either scheduling those things, and those come with more write-offs because you're actually putting your own money into that. So when you're writing stuff off, it just literally means you're taking that amount of money. So like, let's say you made $1,000 and you spent $500 on your cost of materials. You only made $500. So the government sees that too. So that's where the write-offs come in.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I know that I have a lot of stuff that I feel that I could write off because pretty much all I buy is camera equipment. Like if you look around the room that I'm in, it's a lot of gadgets and gizmos in here, all photography related. Now, if we could break down the difference between personal taxes and business taxes, what are some things that you could tell the people about the difference between those two categories?
There really isn't a difference, and that's where it comes in. So with your business, it's still under you.
Okay.
So even when people are like, yeah, I have business credit, it's not in my business name, you still filed it under yourself.
Gotcha.
Unless you're not the owner of the business, in which case I don't know how you're filing taxes on it. Doesn't make sense. But basically, you just need to, there's not really any personal taxes. You either work for somebody or you don't if you're filing taxes. The only other ways you really could have possibly gotten around it is if you were gambling and you made money, or you won the lottery and you made money. But either way, you had to make money some way. So there's not really personal taxes if that makes sense.
Okay.
Unless you're paying for them. Like personal taxes technically could be like when you go to Walmart and then it's the little $3 that came out of nowhere. That technically could be personal taxes, but there really isn't a difference.
Gotcha. So what you're saying is let's use my situation. My money that I make as a teacher, the money I make as a photographer, you're saying there's not a difference between the two.
There's a difference when it comes to filing. There's two different forms. So your teacher one more than likely is going to be a W-2 form. And that's coming from an established job that you are an employee of. When you're filing your Schedule C or your 1099, which is basically you have to file it under Schedule F or Schedule C for your 1099 anyway. But you're basically just saying that you're paying for things. And really, the IRS wants you to be married. They want you to have babies, and they want you to make a business and hire people.
Why is that? Why do they want you to have all of those things?
That's the ideal American, to start a family and to build a business. So they reward you for that, and that's where write-offs and deductions come in.
Okay. I didn't know that. Learn something new every day. I'm glad that I was able to get that information from you. So let's backtrack a little bit. Let's talk about your business, and then we'll move forward back into taxes because I forgot to ask you about that stuff earlier. Now, your business, Fearlyss, where did that come from? Did I say that wrong?
No, you said it right.
Fearlyss, I did say right? Okay.
Yeah.
Where did that name come from, and what is your ideal clientele that you like to work with?
So I like putting myself in everything. I'm very self-centered. I don't try to deny that I am. So I was literally thinking of ways that I could put my own name into my business because before I had a business with two other people, and it was Is It Bad? And it was our initials. That business, I did graphics pretty much in that business, and I still do graphics in Fearlyss LLC, but for a lot of different reasons, the other business didn't work out. And actually, one of my business partners passed away. So one of the things trying to keep doing that business, I was scared. So Fearlyss, I just started to do that one because I was like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. And as we discussed off camera and off the podcast before, graphics and taxes, a lot of things people are scared of. And I'm like, yeah, you can trust me. Just be fearless. Choose me.
I like that because what's your slogan? We talked about this too. You got to let people know.
My business is getting into your business.
Her business is getting into your business. I like that.
Yes, it's very true. I'm all in the business, all in the tea. Tell me what's going on. I can help. And if I can't help, I can know somebody that can help.
I love that. I love that. Now, to the second question, what is your ideal client? Do you like working with business owners, everyday people, or like maybe a specific type of business? Like if you could categorize your ideal client that you're working with on a day-to-day basis, who would that be?
Ideal client would definitely be an established business that could directly tell me what they want. A lot of people struggle with not being able to tell people what they want, especially I do graphics a little bit more than taxes. It's tax season right now, so we're talking about that. But when I'm doing things, even when I'm doing taxes, a lot of people don't know the things that they need in order to get their taxes done or the things that they need in order to get a flyer made, a logo made, just having their materials together. So established businesses, one, have their stuff together already, and two, have a budget for whatever it is that we're doing.
Okay. Yeah, that's the same thing with my photography. Like working with clients that already have the idea, the theme, the colors, all of that stuff together. It makes things a lot easier as the professional to go into those situations. Right.
And then when they don't have those things together and you give them that end product, they're like, this is not what I wanted.
Oh my gosh. Talk about it. I need a sound effect button for that. Hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
Ideal client.
Yes, but I work with pretty much everyone. It seems a lot lately I've been getting businesses that are budding or just starting off, especially when I'm doing like logos or business formation, which is also comes in the tax realm because when you do have a business, you do get to save some money on your taxes.
Right. So that was your little information about your business. I'm glad that you shared that with us. So if you're all out there, anybody in Virginia looking to get your taxes done, looking to get any logo graphic design done, definitely hit her up and she will definitely get you together. Because I like looking at your page. You don't just help people with taxes. You don't just help people design. Like, you actually are doing it yourself. And I think that's a really important thing as a business owner. Like, whatever it is that you're trying to portray to other people, if you're not doing it yourself, how can people trust you?
Exactly. And that's why when I first started, my boyfriend is in our live studio audience. He got me to go live a lot, and that helped me a lot because a lot of people were seeing what I was doing, and people were actually paying me just off the stuff I was saying on live. So I was like, okay, this is beneficial. Let me just go ahead. And that's when I made my own business by myself, because it's like when you're with other people, it's like you got to wait for somebody to do something or be ready to do something. I was like, that's cool, but let's just go ahead and do it by myself too.
Yeah, that's good. Like, being able to portray your personality, like, you have a very colorful personality, and being able to have like your business together, like, people are going to want to reach out and have and get the knowledge that you have to be able to help them out, especially when you specialize in something that's such an important thing like photography, tax preparation, graphic design. I think that's something that's never going to go away, because people are always going to want to start a business, and somebody might not know how to do any of that stuff. And if they can hire you to do it and you can help them, then you're invaluable.
Exactly. And if you ever want to collab, I'm just saying the dream package would be some headshots in your business and put all together. I'm just saying.
I already have the package together. I just need the plugins. So we definitely are going to talk about that.
Cough, cough.
Yeah. I need it. I'm going to get these sound effects together, y'all, where they're actually like a lot more catered to the episode, but whatever. That's besides the point. All right. So let's dive into some of the juicy stuff about taxes, right?
Yes.
Now, you talked about tax write-offs, you talked about filing, you talked about, the 1099 versus the W-2s and stuff like that. Let's start off the conversation talking about tax write-offs and tax deductions, because I think a lot of people get confused with that, and that can be a little tricky if you don't know what you're doing, right? So what are some of the steps that you should take in regards to tax write-off? Let's talk specifically about businesses, because that's what this episode is catered to, is business owners.
All right. So any write-off is anything that is necessary and proper for you to run your business. So what is necessary? You could say anything is necessary. You just have to have some type of justification and the facts. So the first thing, if you're writing off anything starting today, go ahead and download you either QuickBooks, Intuit, start taking pictures. You don't even have to get those programs. I have my own software that I created in Google Docs and Google, what is the other thing? Forms. Yes.
Google Forms, yeah.
And then you just put it in there, and you'll have the spreadsheet with everything you need to give your tax preparer so that they can get those write-offs for you. It's not really your job to know the write-offs. It's your job to keep track of them.
Okay. So you were saying you just have to document those things. Now, is that a responsibility of the business owner, or would that be something that you would just have to run through your tax professional?
Depends on how you've structured your business. So if it's just you by yourself, it is on you. I, as your tax preparer, cannot go in your house and steal your receipts. I cannot go behind you as you're in Walmart and take a picture every time. So that would have to be on you. That's personal accountability. If you don't do it, you're just losing money. At the same time, taxes are so deep, so it's so hard to speak on it. But if you do too many write-offs, you don't make money in your business, technically.
Oh, okay. You got to break that one down. So you said if there's too many write-offs, you don't make money in your business, even though they give you money back in tax write-offs?
So let's go back to our previous example. You made $1,000.
Right.
You spent $500 on equipment. You only made $500 on paper, point blank, period. You never made $1,000 to them. So you never had $1,000, even though you had the write-offs. They can't go, like, let's say right now I'm going through corporate leasing with Airbnbs. They're looking at your previous taxes and your business credit. If on your previous taxes you had negative $5,000, you didn't make no money. How am I going to give you anything? You don't have no money. You may have been in business for 10 years, but you just got your EIN and your LLC last year. And if you didn't file it, there's no proof. You can have your business for 100 years. If you didn't file it, nobody's giving you nothing.
Wow. Yeah, I know I'm trying to get better at that. Like, just understanding like tax write-offs in general, but like you just put me on game telling me that like you can actually lose money by filing too much stuff. So that's good piece of information. I think a lot of people don't know. Like it's so surprising like how many people don't even know what a tax write-off is and like how to utilize it. And I'm learning more about it every day with my business and things that I can incorporate into that.
So like for you, when you hire me,
shameless plug.
We're getting like this whole room. We add up how many square feet is in your whole house and take this whole room away, and you get this part of your rent off.
Okay. I know exactly where you're going with that. So let's explain that means of write-off. So for everybody listening, what she's about to explain is how to use a portion of your home to write that off if you are working from your home for your business, right?
In home office. All
right. So go ahead and explain that.
Okay. So it has to be a place that's solely dedicated for your business. So what you would do is you would take the total square footage of your house. You would subtract the square footage of the whatever room or space. And it can be, let's say, even there's a certain place at your table that you don't eat at and you always go live right there. You better add that too. Add every single part. And then that number that comes out, that's the part of your rent that you paid that you're living. The part that's left over, that's the part that you can take out and deduct from your taxes.
Absolutely. I knew that part. I knew that one.
That's a good one. And another thing of secret sauce, you're supposed to get $5,000 in startup expenses for your business.
Where do you get that from?
You just have to know how to file it. You literally just have to know how to file it. But when you file your Schedule C, because that's the deduction form, you can file for business miles. This year, because of COVID, it's 100% of food. It used to be 50% of the food that you ate, and then it was like 80, but it's 100.
Yep.
So literally you can have a business dinner with your friends, be like, no, I got it. Write it off.
But you can't have alcohol on there, right? That's true, right?
Who said that?
That's what
Let's look on the government. Let's look. I don't know. I never heard that one.
Yeah, I heard that you can file food and stuff like that, but it cannot be alcohol on the actual ticket. I might have to look into that. We might have to look into that because when I found that out, before I knew that, I was like, man, look, we swiping, we going, where y'all want to go out to eat at? And then my the lady that's doing my taxes, she told me that. I was like, oh, let me stop.
Well, that wouldn't really make much sense because like, what if I'm the owner of Ace of Spades and I'm gifting you alcohol and that's coming out of my pocket? Or like, what if I buy you a bottle and that's my marketing? I don't know. I just know that's what they told me to do, and I stopped. But I gotta look that one up. Yeah, that's definitely information I feel like everybody should know. If you are working from home, if you're just starting up your business, you can use a small space, a portion of your house, and write that off as a business expense, correct? Yes, or if you just want to buy an office, the whole rent is done.
Yep.
That's all for your business. Yep. If you have a car and another car, go ahead and say you have one car that's solely business use. If you have just one car, you can say a percentage of it was for business use. Clothes, if you get your name monogrammed on your wrist, business use.
Same thing about the phone, right?
Phone, it has to either be a percentage of business use. I would not go over 70. There's no way that you can prove that unless you have a separate phone.
Yeah, that's where I was considering doing, like getting a separate business phone just for that purpose. Because, I don't want people to be knowing my personal number all the time because they love blowing your phone up.
Text Now.
I
love that app. It's $4.99 for a year, and they can call, they can video chat you, all that.
Okay. Yeah, because everybody says to use Google Voice and stuff like that. I've never had good luck with that. I've missed calls. I've missed text messages. So I was just like, you know what? For now, I'm just going to tough it out and eventually get a new phone.
See, I think you always need another number regardless because I'm one of those people that like to sign up for subscriptions and then cancel. And then they already got your number in there. You need a new one.
That's smart. That's a business hack right there. Don't give them your real number for subscriptions. Give them a fake number.
And since we're on the topic of like business stuff, one thing that people mess up a lot in business structuring is not having a business email. Gmail, Yahoo, all that's not your business email. Please don't tell nobody that's your business email and think that they're going to be like, oh, yes, you are structured properly. You're not. You can use hostinger.com. They'll give you a full website, full domain, and then you get up to, I think, 50 different email addresses under your domain. So you can do info@Fearlyss LLC. I have Alyssa at Fearlyss LLC, and I can add anybody.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get you back on the podcast and talk about business strategies as well, because as you can see, well, here she is definitely full of knowledge on both the tax side and the business strategy side. I like to say that I'm pretty well savvy in the social media management and stuff like that, but like overall business strategies, that's a whole nother animal. Like, and I think a lot of people don't realize it takes more than the skill that you specialize in to run a successful business.
It does, especially with what I do with taxes. There's also an accounting aspect. And like you said, whose responsibility is it? I mean, even if you gave me your bank statements, I would have to charge you for that, because now I have to go through, separate them, put them in the write-off categories, do everything that would save you money. So, yeah.
Okay. So for somebody looking to hire somebody, if they're looking to save money, like but help you to not have to do as much work and then not have to pay as much money, what are some things, I guess you could call business housekeeping things, that a business owner could do to make your job easier?
If you could digitize those receipts. Now, even if I just said keep your receipts, it's 365 days in a year. If you are a functioning, thriving business, more than likely you're always going to buy stuff. There's no way that I'm going to get handed receipts this much and then I'm going to file them for you when I have other clients. So digitizing everything as much as possible, doing those QuickBooks, Intuit, buying my tax program that I have, basically just being able to make it easy and clickable for us to access that information.
Okay. So if you're using QuickBooks and Intuit currently, do you still have to track those paper receipts?
They have a feature where you scan the receipts.
Okay, so you still need to scan them in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, you don't have to. You're just losing money. I mean, and then you aren't even losing money. You could keep the money that you made in your business. But if you're not trying to buy a house or a car or nothing, there's no point.
So the key theme, I guess, of today is you're losing money by not doing things properly.
Correct. Like how everybody was mad that Donald Trump didn't pay taxes. Nobody said he didn't file taxes. They said he didn't pay taxes because he has how many businesses?
A lot.
How big is that Trump Tower by itself?
Huge.
And how many staff do you think he pays?
All of them.
That's a write-off.
Right. Right. And let me use my words carefully. Hold on. Let me think about this. People that are business savvy and they have that instilled within them because it's generationally something they've been doing. Like, they know this stuff. So that's why to somebody that doesn't know this stuff or isn't as knowledgeable, you're looking at it like, oh, well, they're just trying to get over. No, they're not getting over. They just know how to use the system and make the system work for them.
Right. People pay for what they want to pay for. And one thing that I've been telling everybody lately, the only way that they track retirement, federal retirement, is through taxes. So, I mean, you can not file the taxes if you don't want to, but when you're 87 and your hip doesn't work anymore and you're still working at McDonald's, you did it to yourself.
Yeah.
Or you're still doing your business. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Some people still don't file their taxes and they work W-2 jobs.
Yeah, I don't plan to be a teacher the rest of my life. And even though I love photography, I want to get to the point where I can progress that to something else, where it's still in the field, but I'm not physically having to go out and push the shutter button every time I want to make some money.
I can agree.
Yeah.
I can agree.
I think like whatever your business is, the natural progression should be like you don't have to be in place to do your job, to still get your job done.
Automation. Yeah, that's one thing that I've learned recently. I'm in a lot of like business development programs, and they're like, if you got sick or if you were to pass away, could your business run without you? That's the question that you need to ask. And if the answer is no, how can you make it that way?
Wow. Yeah. Automation and delegation.
Mm-hmm.
So delegating people to do the tasks that you don't want to do. Like, for example, with me, with photography, having somebody doing retouching. With you and your business, having somebody do your inquiries where you don't have to do it at all, or automating that. So those are just ways to make our jobs easier as business owners.
Right. And a lot of people, it's like a prideful thing when it comes to business. I can't let anybody in or do anything else. I have to do everything. Well, you don't at all. Time is money, and you can get more money. You can't get more time. So choose one.
Yep. And there's only but so much money that you can make as a solopreneur compared to having a team. Like, it hurts at first to outsource. It does, because I'm in the process of doing that now. But you get more of your time and you have the potential to make more money back.
And then some people are like, I can do everything. What is the thing that you'd rather not be doing? That's the thing that you need to outsource.
You can be a photographer who edits, shoots, does consultations, does inquiries, does your bookkeeping, but you're going to be burnt out and you're not going to be able to do that for the rest of your life.
Right. And if you want to grow, have a family, have fun, like,
yeah. Like right now, as you can see, as you have seen, I'm usually at this desk 90% of the time when I'm not at work. So like to be able to, like you said, still have my business run and do the things that it needs to grow without me being there are essential. So bringing the conversation back into taxes. Since today is tax day, we got off on a little bit of a tangent, y'all. What are some of the biggest mistakes you're seeing business owners make when it comes to their taxes?
Whether it's business or not. So let's kind of walk through the process of taxes. Firstly, you got to give me all the information, whether you're filing. Of course, we had our two main forms, either our 1099 people or self-employed people versus our W-2 people. Whether you're either of those, you're either filing single, married, joint married, widowed, or head of household. Everybody wants to be head of household because they own a house. If you don't have no kids and you're not taking care of them kids, they are not your dependents on your taxes, you're not head of household. So you can file that, it's wrong. Now your taxes bounce back. Now you got to wait. So a lot of just inaccuracies will cause your taxes not to be filed. And there's actually more than 6 million people that are still waiting on their 2020 taxes.
Me included. But we're not going to talk about that on air. We'll talk about that off air.
Cough, cough. But yes, just making sure that everything's accurate that you're bringing to them. A lot of people try to get more money because, for example, if you know, there's also tax credits. So if you have certain things that are assets to either you or the government, you're getting money for that. So kids, if you had kids this year, dang, you should have claimed them kids. They was giving out thousands of dollars per head.
I heard. Maybe I was going to pop some out.
People was claiming people's kids that wasn't their kids.
Wow.
And they going to jail. I'm not wishing that on your life, but you shouldn't have done that. Anyway, so yeah, if you had kids, if you had COVID last year, they was giving you money for every day that you missed as a self-employed person.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Every day. And if you was quarantining, if you had to take care of somebody else, literally anything to do with COVID, if your job shut down and you couldn't go. Yeah, self-employed people only. There was also a credit for if you missed your STEMI check. STEMI credits. COVID brought a lot of money. I am so sorry to all those people that died. I really, truly am. And if you got sick, that is terrible.
Yeah.
I made a lot of money in the pandemic.
Yeah, see, I was one of the lucky ones that had not contracted COVID yet. Knock on wood. Hopefully I don't.
I haven't either. I don't want that.
This is definitely wood. But yeah, knock on wood. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But wow, that's a lot of information that I think a lot of people don't know. And those mistakes that people are making are from lack of knowledge.
Right. And if you didn't file your taxes, even though we said this is the last day, you can file an extension until October. Go ahead and do that.
What's the exact date on that? We said it was October
17th.
What? October 17th. Okay. So if you did not file today, being April 18th, you have until October 17th to file your taxes.
And they may try to charge you fees. I'm just saying. It's worse if you don't. Let me tell you something. Okay, so I have a client, right? He's like 23. He didn't file his taxes for I don't know how many years, but he filed the first year with me. I think he made a lot of money and they were taking his taxes out. Like he was supposed to get money back. But because he missed like 3 years.
Yeah.
They're going to get their money, whether you want it now or later. I mean, why would you want to be up and then they take all your money?
I mean, but my thing is like a lot of people just don't know. Like unless you're in the taxes, like you can't expect somebody to know where to go and look and find this information.
And I think because like people see if you do it wrong, they lock you up. A lot of people are scared of it.
Scared to do it. Yeah, I definitely agree.
So let's just do it right.
Mm-hmm. So what are some, I guess you could say some free resources that people could go to learn more about taxes?
Let me tell you, the IRS, they're not out to get you for real. They have all the information on their website. The IRS website, That's where I get all my information from, because they even train tax preparers on the IRS website. It's really them. Like, yes, they are the big bad guys that are coming after your money, but it's really Uncle Sam. They're just doing the job. They just like the little gang that they hired. I don't know.
the enforcers, but
the enforcers.
Yeah, but not being afraid of taxes and not being afraid of the conversation, I just think that's really big. And I think it's really big in our community because like it's not taught a lot to us at an early age. And I mean, in general, it's not taught in school for real. Like they're not teaching you how to prepare your taxes, not telling you what a tax write-off is. They're not even telling you how to write checks.
Right.
Like my students now, like they're like, checks, what's that? I'm like, the paper thing that you fill out, put the money on you don't know what a check is. Like, I don't know what that is. My mom uses those. But it's like, why do we have to wait till we're adults to learn how to do that stuff and not learn how to do it earlier?
Seriously, that is true. And I would just say, don't be scared of taxes, because that's the only thing other than death you can't avoid. I mean, if you evade taxes, you're going to jail for that. If you mess up on your taxes, you got to pay for that. I mean, either way, something. I mean, people do get away every single day with not doing them.
But it's better to live knowing than to live every day looking over your shoulder.
And then for people that have never done their taxes before, if you either were a W-2 person and they gave some of your check away already, or if you did get those deductions, they owe you money. You don't have to pay them. They will give you a check. So just think about it. Just think about it.
Yeah, I need to get that check because I need all of that money back for my business and for my teaching job. And like,
what do you work for?
I work for Sussex County Public Schools.
Oh, I work for Richmond Public Schools. They ain't take enough out of my taxes. They actually caused me to lose some money. I was like, dang.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go back and look at that because Sussex County, like, they're always taking money out of my check. So
yeah, that's a county. So you should be good. You should be getting a nice little check.
Hope so. We'll see.
One thing that I would say for business owners that a lot of people really don't think about is, other than just keeping it all together, just understanding that if you don't file taxes now, it's only hurting your business, because you need the fact check-in. If you want to go for funding later, if you want to do anything, you just need to file the taxes. That's what they're checking.
Gotcha. So taxes aren't just something that you pay into your business or pay into the government for doing your business, but also a way of them tracking your business and things like that in general as well, right?
Correct.
That's what you're saying.
And if you really, 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 really are so scared of paying taxes, do you know what you do? Charge tax on your services or products. You can do that.
Yep. And I think a lot of business owners are scared to do that. Like, I just started doing that this year. So, for example, do you know what a CRM is?
No.
Client Relations Management System.
Okay.
So like a booking, we'll talk about it. But like HoneyBook, right? That's what I use. So whenever I send out my invoices and my proposals, like you have my price and then it automatically adds the tax percentage. So I charge 7.5% for tax. So if it's $100, that's an extra $7.50. I think that's how that works. My math ain't too good. We're just gonna say that. So it automatically adds that to their invoice. So I don't come out of pocket for the tax or anything like that. They're paying that tax.
As they should. They want it. Like at the end of the day, you want to collect the money, but whoever is buying off of you wants the product or service. And you have to remember that while pricing also, because I'm still not at the point where I should be pricing. But like for my taxes, I had to go so let's talk about taxes one more time, just for a little bit. If anybody on here is listening and they want to be a tax preparer, you have to either get a EPIN or EFIN number.
Okay, you got to explain what that is.
So I'm technically under somebody. I just have my EFIN number. Wait, I always get them mixed up. There's one that's
Don't
a
look at
E
me, I don't know.
and one that's a P. I'm just a P. The E's are the big dogs. So I'm under somebody. I still have my own LLC.
Okay.
Everything's still on me if everything happens. But she's the final sign off. She doesn't really do anything but just looks over my taxes to make sure they're okay. So I'm still under her. If the laws come get me, they're going to come get me first, but they're going to get her too. So I got to make sure that everything's good. But I'd rather do that. I pay her 30% of all my commission. But I had to tell her, go ahead and put my prices on there for me, because I really can't. Everybody's like, I charge $200 for one W-2. So a lot of people are like, But I'm like, I don't charge you. It comes out of your refund. Unless you don't get nothing back. But that's why you hired me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's a testament to your skill right there. And I think that's a tip within itself. Like people that want to go and get their taxes done, if they don't do it on their own, they don't know that you're not coming out of pocket. I'm not paying you $200 to do my taxes.
Right.
If you're getting your tax money back and you're good at your job, you're going to get well over $200.
Right.
And what's that $200 when you didn't even know how to do it in the first place?
Yeah. Let me tell you my favorite client testimony right now. My cousin, he came to me. He only did DoorDash. So that's not even like it's a business, but it's not like I'm buying all this stuff. He was supposed to owe $2,000. I got him that much back. So that means we had to go past zero and then go in that direction.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. Like that just shows you're good at your job. And the better you are at your job, the more money you make and the less you should worry about taxes. Like I think the biggest message that I want to get across with this episode is remove the fear of taxes, myself included. Remove the fear of the unknown about taxes. So like I do appreciate you giving that information about where you can go to find more information. And I'm pretty sure that you would benefit from having people come to you to learn more information about taxes too. And I don't know if you charge, but hit her up, book her, do what you got to do.
Cough, cough. Yeah. And then if you really don't want to talk to me, you don't want to do none of that, I'd recommend either looking on YouTube or reading the book Profit First. That teaches you how to count all your business. It teaches you how to take your money out first. So like if we go back to the $1,000 example, it teaches you how to take your payout first versus most people do profit, expense, and then we're putting profit first. So yeah, read that book. They tell you to make a whole separate tax account.
What's your take on that? Like having a separate tax account, savings account, and I guess not personal checking account for your business. It's
literally just how much you're tempted, how much your mentality can take. If you can look at $1 million, if you can profit in $1 million and you're not going to spend, you need to save realistically 30% of that for taxes.
Okay.
You may not put that much in there, but realistically you need to be saving that much for taxes. So if you can look at that and say, I'll go ahead and take this out. Good. I won't spend it. But if you can't, make that other account. It's literally just self-control.
Mm-hmm. And just knowing yourself and knowing your, spending habits. Now, getting deeper into percentage, you said 30% putting aside for your taxes, right? Would you say that could be something you should put off to the side monthly, or is this at the end of every tax season that you're saying 30%?
If you're not charging people tax, I would do it probably monthly because we also spoke about off camera. We live in Virginia. Virginia expects you to pay them monthly because of your business. So if you're not doing that, what I actually ended up getting was bills. So whatever I signed up for my EIN when we initially signed up, I don't remember what we said we did, but we did e-commerce when we first started. So I really don't know what we said we did. They assumed how much we made each month and billed us for that much.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I had to close my business because I was like, we're not open. We were open, but we weren't. So I was like, So then let's talk about that for a little bit. If you don't pay your tax bill, you have to close your business or pay the tax bill. We close the business and then you have to open your business by filing taxes.
Okay. So if they make you close your business down, you have to open up a whole nother business, or
you use the same EIN number because that's your identifier.
Right.
And you refile those taxes. So once you file the taxes, now I'm saying I made money again. So technically I should have been filed taxes from January until now because I just filed.
Yeah, that's something I didn't know either. So any Virginia business owners out there, if you're not filing your taxes monthly, make sure that you're getting on that.
That's the sales tax. Yes.
The sales tax. Okay. So you have your sales tax, and what's the other one you said was federal tax, right?
Yeah, that's the one that's coming from the whole United States. And then we have just the Virginia one.
Okay. So knowing both of those things is just as important. And I think today being the last day, well, not the last day, I definitely wanted to get this information out to people. So someone else out there that may be just as confused as I am, or just may want more information, like hearing that from somebody that actually does this lets them know that it's not that bad.
Yeah, especially if you're a regular person and you don't have your business yet and you're just listening to us and you're like, I want my business, so I'm trying to listen to them. Go ahead and file your taxes. Your job more than likely already gave the money that you owed and you're getting money back. If you're a business person, go get all your receipts, put them together, figure out how much money you technically made, and you'll only have to owe that, or you might not owe any if you didn't make any of your money in your business, because you can't get taxed on something you never made.
So by not making money, are you saying, just make sure I understand, and maybe I am right, maybe I'm not, where you spend more money than you bring into your business? Is that right?
Yes, that's a lot of business people's goal. But
Okay.
when you do that, you're also saying that you didn't make a lot of money in your business. So it depends on what your goals are. If your goals are to save money, then that's the best thing to do for you. If your goals are to grow your business and have a good track record on paper, then that's not something you should do.
Okay. So when should someone pivot between those two things of saving money and wanting to grow your business and make more money on paper?
That's when we recommend the quarterly business assessments. So you need a quarterly and a year. So I personally, for my business and my brand, we had vision board parties, whether you did it for your business or yourself. Just knowing what your goals are. So if you are 25, you're about to get married, you want to have kids, you want to buy a house, a new car, you're not going to want to write off a whole lot of stuff because you want to make money. You need a certain amount of income to buy a house. So just take that into account. If you're young, you don't have nothing to do for real, and you don't really care how much money you made in your business, technically on paper to the government, write everything off. If you think about it, you see a lot of people with G-Wagons in the wintertime in the beginning of the year because they waited till that last month to buy everything. So let's say we made $1 million in business. There's also, we didn't talk about so much, there's self-employment taxes.
Okay.
So that's around 15%. It's a little more, but it's around 15%. So 15% of $1 million, would you rather spend that or give it to the IRS?
I'd rather spend it.
Right.
Yeah.
Most people would rather spend it. So that's why you see people with G-Wagons. You can write them off. But I spent the money for my business. That's why you see people with like the crazy stuff at the end of the year. It's not because, New Year's coming. It's because I don't want to make no money in my business.
Right. They use their money smart, the right way.
They don't even make G-Wagons anymore.
I don't even want a G-Wagon. I just want my little something to get me around. Got like my little buttons in there.
Yeah,
all
Teslas,
my money. Yeah,
write them off.
Okay, Teslas actually like those because those are pretty techy and that's right up my alley. But I mean, honestly, most of my money goes towards my photography stuff. So I'm not out going out, drinking, stuff like that. I'm in the house.
See, my favorite thing is I would have to use that affectively ball. I buy everything all the time. I really don't care. I really don't. Like I do, but I don't. So it's like, if you can save food on me and then you be able to make that money back, or you can say, yes, I'm going to buy this camera because I know I'm going to have quality pictures and it's going to upgrade my business. It's not really hurting you. It takes that part away. So taxes actually help you be able to be more creative and be able to do what you want in life a little bit more. If you think about it from that perspective, if you have a business. If you don't have a business, call me. We can get your business.
Right. And I like how you said that, like, if it's bringing you quality in your business, don't be afraid to spend that money on it. If you know for a fact that you're going to make it back, or if you're confident that you're going to make that back, because a lot of people, you get the advice, don't spend any money, save all your money, but you got to spend money to make money. If you know for a fact that having a better quality camera is going to bring you better quality images, I mean, there's a debate on that whole conversation, but just for this example, then buy the camera. If you know that like having a certain thing attached to your name is going to get more eyes looking at you, that could be a way of bringing in more clientele. So therefore that now has become valuable to you.
Then you can charge more. Then you made more money in your business. Then if you automatically have the taxes coming out, you don't care about paying taxes. It's cyclical, you know? You just have to, 1, start your business. 2, keep track of everything for your business. Because like if you do go buy that camera, you didn't say, always press email. That's one thing you can do to save yourself. Email yourself that receipt. But if you don't have that, I mean, you spent $3,000 on a camera for no reason.
Yep, just to say you had it.
Yeah, I mean, you can make money with it, but wouldn't you rather profit like real money that you can get cash, cold? Like,
Yep, I agree. Like literally, let me see. Let me give a honest percentage. I guess you could say 70% of everything I buy for my photography business has some type of benefit that makes my job either easier, makes my quality better, or makes it easier for me to just run my business. The other stuff is like, it makes me happy. So if I can afford it, why not buy it? But I just feel like if you live by that and you get things for your business based off of like, is it going to bring you value, and you understand taxes, like just a base level understanding, you're good. You're going to be good with your business. And if anything else, if you don't know, reach out and ask to somebody that is a professional in those areas that can help you out.
right. I would just seriously look up write-offs, try to figure out, like I said, anything that's necessary and proper. Keep all those receipts. You'll be good. You won't be scared of taxes anymore. Nobody's coming after you if you do what you're supposed to do. So let's just do what we're supposed to do.
Gotcha. I definitely agree on that. So in closing, make sure that you are looking up the information to get better knowledge on that. Don't be afraid of the IRS. Make sure that you have a system in place, have a workflow with your taxes, the same way that you would with your business in general, and you'll be good to go.
You will be good. We promise. And if you're not, come to Fearlyss and be fearless.
Fearlyss, where her business, your business is her business.
Mm-hmm. And I'm also your business bestie. I didn't tell y'all that, but I'm your business bestie. Okay.
Business bestie. What is a business bestie?
Well, like your best friend, you tell everything. So like when you have a business and you're like, okay, I just bought a new camera. You gonna tell me? Because I'm gonna write it off for you. You gonna tell me when you got a new business idea? Because I might got the back end for you.
Gotcha. That's good marketing right there. I like that. I like that for sure. But definitely appreciate you coming on to the podcast. What are some last bits of advice that you would want to tell people about taxes or just business in general?
Make sure that your business is structured properly. Work on your business credit now. Keep those receipts, please. And if you can, just know that an accountant and a tax preparer are two different people. Your accountants can file your taxes, but they're normally two different people. So let's just keep your accounting in line, because if your books aren't good, just working for no reason.
I definitely had that in my notes to ask you. You just brought that back to my mind. So you brushed over it briefly, but explain the difference between the two, because I think a lot of people think that is the same person.
Okay, so if I'm accounting, I am taking your business expenses. I'm looking at your profit. I'm looking at anything that went into that's not technically an expense, but could really be, like the gas it took to do something or the amount of time possibly. And we're adding all that up because you can also add your labor, your actual time, the things that you're doing as a part of your write-offs and deductions as well. But just looking into all of that and literally the word accounting for it, just having it on paper. Now, if I'm your tax preparer, I'm actually preparing your taxes. So taking that accounting information and putting that in. So let's say, like, you can't have it's like a photographer and a model. I can shoot myself and call myself a photographer, but it's not the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's definitely important, because for a long time, I didn't know that they were two different people. And I'm just assuming the person that was doing my taxes was doing all of that at the same time. I mean, I think there are people that do both, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just
I do both. You got to pay for it.
Yeah, just know that those are two separate jobs.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So that was my last question. Is there anything else that you had to add?
No, just stay woke. And
stay woke.
If you are of color and you're in business, kudos to you, because it's hard for us out here. Okay. And if you're not, make a way for us.
Yes, please help us out. Reach out a lending hand, because we're struggling out here. Well, not struggling, but we got a little bit harder than other people.
Yeah, but we're doing our thing,
Yeah. So last but not least, let the people know where they can find you for your business and how they can get in contact with you if they would like to hire you for your services.
Okay, you can follow me on Instagram at Curlyssa. My Facebook is Alyssa Pitts. My business Instagram is Fearlyss LLC. And you can hit me up on any of those. I'm also starting to do classes with UBG, which will be in my bio. It's called Underground Business Group. And we just teach everything. There's already 2 years worth of classes in there. So I'm adding my classes to them. So I think that's going to be really dope. I have a YouTube channel. It's Fearlyss also. Almost everything is Fearlyss. If you want to see me, not my business, you want to see me, that's everything.
Hey, but that's universal branding. That's important.
It is. And speaking of that, I'm dropping merch. Y'all heard it first. I'm dropping merch. It's going to be lit. I say Rich Risings instead of Good Morning. So I'm doing Rich Rising shirts, and I think that's going to be lit.
Better than Grand Rising.
I think so, too. Let's get rich.
Yeah, I like that. We all should try to get rich. But, yeah, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for coming on last minute because I was definitely wanting to get this episode out. And like you all heard here first, all the information, definitely hit her up. Check her out if you are in need of any type of information in regards to business management, business expertise, taxes in general. She's the person that you want to be in contact with. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. So I appreciate you coming on and chopping it up with me today.
Thank you for having me.